haunts me, and I think she always will.
She know yet? No, not yet. She's gonna be okay.
Why don't you ask me yourself?
You should call him.
Why would I call him?
I'm just saying that, you know, he stuck by you through a lot of this stuff.
Freak show's back. And she's all over Reed. I thought she was Mrs. Innocent. What's a girl to do?
Hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks,
Where was I born?
What makes you ask that?
My dad asked me to do a little research for him, like family tree stuff, war records, police records.
What's up? Everything okay? Take a step.
What does Beelzebub?
And you shall know me, for I shall cast out demons in his name.
Beelzebub.
Hey guys, how you doing? It's JW here. J-Dub in the house. Anyways, welcome to another episode of Horror Quickies. Today I'm going to be reviewing Ghost in the Graveyard with Jake Busey, Kelly Bergend, and Olivia Larson. In case you guys noticed, the last one in this episode of Horror Quickies, I started showing the trailers of the films because I thought if you haven't seen trailers of the films or seen the films I'm talking about when I'm reviewing, I felt that would at least give you guys a look and maybe you can see into a little bit of what I'm talking about. Anyways, Ghost in the Graveyard. It is a game, you know, there's variations of Ghost in the Graveyard and it goes by different names, and you guys know, basically it's a form of tag and you play in the graveyard where the person who's it is the ghost. So basically, this film is about Sally Sullivan. She's haunted by her past and returns home after the death of her best friend Martha and the disappearance of her mother. Basically, she comes home after spending some time, I believe, in a religious church group or some sort of sect, I believe. I could be wrong, but you know, I'll go into it more during my review. Basically, the plot of this film, the idea, the story behind it is actually very cool, but the execution of it, let's start from the beginning. The beginning of the film starts with them as little kids playing the game Ghost in the Graveyard, and it's a really good opening sequence, especially when her friend Martha dies, and introduces you to the younger version of her arch rival girl, you know, leader of the mean girls in school later. So she comes back, and her arch rival's like got her little clique of her little yes girls, and she's jealous because the guy that she likes has been keeping in touch with Sally, and it turns out, you know, he cares about her, and you know, they're getting closer, and she doesn't like that. The story is a lot about of her finding out who she really is, and there is apparently a group of witches after her, and she has a destiny that she's slowly finding about. She also finds out that her father, played by Jake Busey, who I think did a good job. There was some critiques I read where they basically said he walked through the role, that he was awful through the role, and I disagree. He was playing the dad. I mean, I thought he did a good job for the small scenes he was in. Also in this film is Maria Olsen, but I have a beef that she is not in the film enough. She basically plays an antagonist, and I feel like she was barely in the film. And during the playing of the game, she's there with no dialogue, and then she has maybe one or two scenes of dialogue in the entire film, and I just felt like she was so underused. Maria Olsen is a very good actress, very great actress, and that's the thing. I think she needed to be more in the film. I really did. being how her character was an antagonist. And her character's daughter, is actually her arch rival for dude here. See him in the screen with the puffy hair. Basically, it's a good film. It's basically about the witches trying to sacrifice her because of her. I'm not gonna, I don't believe in spoilers. There's something very special about Sally, and they want to sacrifice her, but she has a destiny to, fight evil. It's not a storyline that hasn't been done before, but there's a lot of elements that work, but the movie is jumbled. It doesn't explain enough, especially in the middle of the film. Doesn't explain enough of what's going on, and quite frankly, the ending is anticlimactic. I really seriously wanted to like this movie, and also on another note, I felt like the previews are a little misleading in the sense that you think the game Ghost in the Graveyard has a lot to do with the plot of the film. It does and it doesn't. It does because the ghost of Martha, who died playing the game, is showing up in front of Sally and, scaring Sally and freaking her out and stuff. And it does in that sense. But I felt like if the game could have been part of the final showdown ritual, I feel like I would have liked that better. But like I said, this is just my opinion. I know some people are like, you should review the film based on what you see, not what you want. And I do that. But I have to put in certain things. I have to, speak my mind and pretty much say. So, Ghost in a Graveyard. I have to be honestly say that I was excited to watch. I really wanted to watch this film because I liked the preview and the song. You saw the trailer in the beginning of my show. I liked it. So basically, Ghost in the Graveyard. I got it for $9.99 or $9.95, $9.99 at my local Walmart, and it's a tricky question because there's a lot of parts of the film I did like, but as a whole I was disappointed. But I'll say no. I don't think it was worth my money, but at the same time, there's enough in it that I'm not going to be like giving this away to somebody. Because I'll be honest with you, if I buy a movie I don't like, I have a couple of guys at work and some friends that if I don't like a movie, I give it to them. I'm being honest. But this one I'm going to hang on to. But overall I have to say no. It could have been a lot better. Anyways, that's it for this episode of Horror Quickies. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.